Hey guys, Big Weir, road with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of coffee. We've got some rare good news today. Uh, lately, right? Rare. My buddy Snip4 is completely reactivated on YouTube. Both the strikes against him were removed upon everybody sending tweets and emails and messages to YouTube to say, hey, leave our boy alone, and they listened amazingly. So he has a very hysterical post this morning of his crypto cave, this shack in the back of his house that he turned into a crypto cave to do his broadcast from, to work from, to entertain folks who come into town. And you got to watch it. The best part of this, it's definitely a cool room, but the best part is him driving around on his golf cart about 50 yards to his crypto cave. Oh, Snip4. Joe cracks me up. He's like an old man on his golf cart driving around in Florida. Love it. Absolutely love it. I'm glad things worked out for Joe and are working out. And everybody needs to subscribe to his channel. He's doing great. He's got 53,000 subscribers. Talks a lot about cryptos, and he's not afraid of any ICO. So go check out Joe and what all the good things that are happening to Joe. They are well deserved. Also on that note, Cliff has reached out to Joe and myself to set up a new Three Amigos video. I think it's a good time. We are right on the brink of a breakout in the understanding of the cryptos and what they can do for us and humanity going forward. And that's going to be gigantic, absolutely gigantic for those companies that are struggling to get up and running right now in the cryptoverse. Lots of money going into it, lots of time, effort, and energy. Well, the good companies are going to be the rock stars, and the bad companies are going to go away. The bad cryptos will go away, and the good cryptos will be the rock stars. So it's that easy. You just got to pick the right ones. So very good news for Joe, and expect a Three Amigos video. Also, bingo! I woke up to rain this morning. Very light rain, but wet rain, humidities. Yeah, I don't know what it is. The air quality has improved. Everything is looking good for fighting the fires in Northern California. And it was dampness everywhere, absolutely everywhere in Northern California. And it's great. And here's an article: expected Northern California rain to help firefighters' efforts. Rain could help quench the last of the fires still burning in Sonoma, Napa, Mendocino counties, while snow is likely to fall in the Sierras. Well, here's the next thing. You know, if we really are starting our winter early, which it seems to be, we could have mudslides, we could have more rain problems. Anyway, let's take them one by one, day by day. This is great for the firefighters. You know, they had expected these rains to last for a month. If we get any significant rain over the next couple days, they could be out in the next couple days, which would be great. And time to regroup in Northern California. And everybody is definitely pitching in to help. And I appreciate anybody's efforts out there, everybody's efforts to try to get this thing past us and move forward. The good news is the Nuns Fire and the Tubbs Fire have burned more than 90,000 acres combined, are both at least 80% contained, and that was way below 80% just a couple days ago. So great news for California. Bravo. More good news. That's two good news. And I'm excited. And it comes at the right time, because here comes the bad news. Here are the reasons why another government shutdown looms. It's not necessarily bad news if you're looking to free the United States from the criminals that control it. That was the whole idea, to destroy the monetary system and move on to something else. It does look like our Congress is doing the right thing in not agreeing. The stock market bubble, the derivative bubble, the debt bubble, every single bubble is as high as it's ever been. It is insane, and everybody knows it's going to crash. Everybody knows you got to come down off this high, and this would help it along the way. I'm not so sure that our current system and the markets will even survive until, I think it's December 8th is when they have to have budget in place. And they're not going to get there. And here's why. They're squabbling over this. They're struggling, struggling to find common ground on immigration reform, disaster relief spending, taxes, Obamacare, preserving funding for Planned Parenthood. Insane. They're not going to do it, and they don't want to do it, truthfully. They want the destruction of the old system. That is the plan. It's been the plan all along. So how long it will hobble along is the big question. But with the government shutdown pretty much baked in the cake on December 8th, we'll see what happens. And remember, Steve Mnuchin just yesterday said if they don't get the tax bill done, you're going to see a crash in the stock markets. You're the Treasury Secretary. You don't say that unless you, one, know a tax bill that's getting done, or two, want the market to crash, which I think is closer to number two, because the tax bill is not going to get passed at all. It is absolutely weighted to the rich, the people who make, create the jobs and all that. It's not going to go over because the banking system is going to be wobbling by then. And if you have one or two banks go down and people don't get their money out, then you got literally a revolt against the bankers coming up. Jamie Dimon knows it. I'm sure he's going to announce his retirement very soon, and we'll see what happens. So, yeah, keep your eye out for December 8th, the shutdown of the U.S. government, or at least some chaos, and then watch the stock market crumble. So, on that note, on the conspiracy note, I am announcing right now, I will be on live with Carrie Cassidy of the Camelot Project. Project Camelot? Project Camelot. And we're going to talk about the conspiracy behind our money, the Federal Reserve, and especially the gold in the Grand Canyon. Yes, there's massive amounts of gold in the Grand Canyon, millions of tons of gold in the Grand Canyon that was found in the early 1900s. I have so much proof, it's ridiculous. And we're going to talk about that on her show tonight, if you're interested. Also this weekend, or this Friday, tomorrow, I'll be posting a special video for private road members showing all the evidence, laying it down, showing the pictures of some of the things that I found. Really interesting stuff. Obviously, this article from the New York Times, this was on the cover of the New York Times, Tell of Vast Riches in the Grand Canyon. This is 1912 this came out. Notice it was about a year before the Federal Reserve Act was surprisingly passed by Woodrow Wilson. Yes, the introduction of all this gold into a system that only held, the banks held about 100 million ounces of gold in the world, and the people held about 100 million ounces in coins. So that's 200 million ounces. And here this article talks about billions and billions and billions of ounces in the ground in the Grand Canyon. I know exactly where it is now. No sense in trying to go there because it's blocked by the U.S. Marines. So you're not allowed to go there. But a lot of things have happened at that spot. And it's a really interesting spot, too, because there's all kinds of conspiracy stuff going on at that exact spot, including the largest aircraft collision supposedly in history in 1956, the finding of Egyptian artifacts in that area. It's all the same area. And I got so much proof. It's awesome. And then we have this, the cryptographic bars from China, one of the top 10 mysteries in cryptography. These bars have never been deciphered. They're from 1933, hint, 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 1933, when we went off the gold standard and gold was confiscated. And oh, by the way, look at this bar right here, which talks about a $300 million gold loan from China to the U.S. And here's all the codes and all that. Yes, it is absolutely related to the 1933 bonds that were released by the Federal Reserve and the trillions of dollars in gold-backed bearer bonds that came back to life a couple years back. And everybody's like, oh, no, that's forgeries. But if you look at those bonds, those aren't forgeries. Those were if they were forgeries, they were done in 1933 and done at great cost. And there's no reason to do that unless they knew what was going on. Very interesting is, in my mind, look at the symbol on this gold bar. You see the zero with the line through it, piercing it down here. And you look at the 1988 cover of The Economist magazine about the one world monetary system, not government, one world currency. So yeah, all that stuff is very exciting. And I'm going to talk about it tonight on Carrie Cassidy's program. and you can go to Project Camelot and listen to it. Go to our YouTube channel. And I think that's where I'll put it out at roadtoruta.com. Go to roadtoruta.com and click in the top. Go to the home section. Right here on the left, you can sign up, put your name and email, and you get free emails. I will post what time and where to find. It's 7 o'clock tonight. You can listen live to that interview. It should be really interesting. We're going to talk about the Grand Canyon gold, the silver used in the Manhattan Project, all the secrets that the Fed and the Treasury don't want you guys to know about our monetary system and how rigged it is. And of course, we'll talk about Root A, the computer programs that control the system written by Alan Greenspan in the 1960s. Really going to be a fun interview because there's no holds barred on the conspiracy side with Kerry Cassidy. So I'm excited about that, and everybody should join in and listen to that. It will be posted on our site. I'll put the link out tomorrow as to where it's posted, so you can all watch. If you can't make it tonight, you can watch it tomorrow. But it's 7 o'clock Pacific time, and I think it's Pacific time. Better check on that. And we're going to have a good conversation. Anyway, so a lot of good news. A lot of good news with Jason at 4 back. I'll let you know when the Three Amigos video is going to be done and released. And then we'll move on from here. This is Bix Weir, roadtoruta.com. I'll talk to you later.